Hello and welcome. How are you doing? Next I like to show you that how to replace these Kia and Hyundai cars front brake pads. And now I am meaning that kind of part what I have in here, and I will next install these new brake pads to this Hyundai Kia car. Okay, and first step is that we need to open this wheel's central bolt, and for that opening we need tool. What size is this 22 millimeter? There is this size is in here. This is 22 millimeter socket, and this fits for the central bolts. And then we need longer this metallic bar, because these bolts are normally quite tight. And this opening happens so that first this wheel must be in against ground, because there is so we need high friction. And then when we have loosened those 5 bolts, we can lift up this car using some jack or hoist. And then remember, when we do that job, that always use support things like that. In this red stuff, this is always we need to insert in to support that our work when we remove this wheel, because this job is dangerous. And also you can use some also secure safety things like truck pallets, or if you have forest near in your house, those wooden fresh logs that we insert in big log areas in below of this car body, because there is risk always that this car can collapse down. But these red support jacks, they are fine. Okay, and then I start to open these bolts, and then next I will take this wheel away, and then I lift this car up, and then we continue. Okay, and then I take my tool, this tool, and I insert that in here, and then I open the first bolt, and then the second one, and these bolts are quite tight. And then when I have loosened all of these bolts, we continue. Okay, and then I need to lift up this my wheel when all of these bolts are loosened, and then I will do that. Okay, good. And now when this wheel is up, I can take this my tool again and use that in this way, that I easily rotate that in this way, and then I keep that in position, and then finally this bolts open, and there is this bolt, and then I will open those 4 others, and then we continue that job. Okay, and now I have take all of those wheel bolts away, and then I can carefully take away this Kia Hyundai's wheel cover. Then I can insert my fingers in these holes in here and lift that up. This is ideal. In that way, our fingers in here, and if you are woman and you are not so you have not trained your those fingers and hands, this could be a little bit heavy, but in normal way this weight like this wheel weighs something like 10 to 20 kilos and like 20 to 40 pounds. And now we have this our target area in here, and in here we have those brake discs, and it's good that we rotate that wheel in that way that I move that in this position, and then it is easier to open these bolts in here. And this brake disc movement is also easier when we rotate our car's steering wheel in that position. Okay, and then I take a little bit better view. Okay, and then we need to open in here this bolt and in that bolt in here. And for that job we need tool what size is 14 millimeter, and this kind of French or bar, and this is like 1/4 millimeter. And then let's look that normally these bolts open easier, but sometimes they can be so corrosion that we need longer bar to open. But let's look at how they open. Okay, now it was wrong direction. Wrong direction. Actually, was it right? Yes. Okay, and this bolts open so that in that way, in this rotation, is this opening, like in that way. Open, open, open. This is the direction. Okay, and now I open this, and then I can use my fingers. And then I open that down bolt also, and look, now it is in that position, and then when I insert it down, this bolt opens. Okay, good. It opens also good. And then I rotate this bolt away in here, that area. I use my fingers and I only rotate, but please use gloves, because these bolts are really dirty and oily, and also this brake area is really full of harmful dust. And do not intake or do not use any compressed air when you work with brake pads and disc, because then there is air full of asbestos and this rubber and other harmful small items, and do not do any wind in here. Okay, and here is first bolt, and we were lucky because this was not rusty. And then I take the second one also away, and it's here down, and again I use my fingers because I have gloves. Okay, and here is similar bolt. Okay, and then normal way. This brake disc can be really sticky and fasten in here, and it's good to hint that we take our hands in here, and then we start to shake that in this position, and in that way and that way, and that we little bit rotate that in one way, and then first in here and in here, and then when we do that 10 times and then little bit lift that, then this suddenly normally opens. And this is brake caliber, and it's good to lift a little bit up in here. I insert them in here, and some people even they connect this hole, and they hook in this cable in this strut. But now I don't. I think that I work so carefully that I let this caliper in there. And here is this my target level. And in some cars, if we have this best quality car, this Toyota cars, these brake pads opens really easily in most Toyotas. It's Toyota's excellent thing, but in that car, because this is not a Toyota, this is Korean car, Kia, Hyundai. These brake pads are really stuck, and this engineering is also very high tolerance brake disc and brake calipers, and that's this brake disc is brake disc and especially brake pads replace is more complex than in Toyota cars, and the issue is that these brake pads are so fastened and tight in this position, and this is the issue, and that's we need to do many tricks normally. And first trick is that we need screwdriver, and these brake pads were so tight that they broken my flat screwdriver, because I worked in this other side, and they were so tight, and this was German flat screwdriver, and it is broken because these Koreans, they have made so tight brake pads. They destroyed my German tool, and that's I have only this is like handicap tool, but this idea is that I start to hammer that side in here a little bit, and I start to move these brake pads away in that way. And now there is this dusty, this is harmful, look, this is bad, and now these pads, if they are really stuck in again, and this is not nice. Even though this is quite new Kia Hyundai car. This is like 4 years old car, and mileage less than 100,000 miles, and about 100,000 kilometers, and brake pads are so difficult to open that I use then my favorite tool, crowbar, and I insert that in here, and then I start to bend these pads away, and now it opens. And then we check that how worn out are these pads, and they are really worn out when we compare that old brake pad to this new one. There is now this difference that there is this measurement line and hole is left, but here it is burn out away almost. And then when we compare this thickness, this is almost crappy, and there is material almost 1.5 cm inches. Okay, and that's we need to replace pads. This was this first one, and then that one in second. And then remember, these brake pads are different, and this inner brake pad, there is that kind of metallic hook in here, this point. And remember, this hook becomes in that side, and in that brake pad there is no that hook. But soon I will show that how to take that away. And now this is of course as sticky, and then I use my hammers, these pike areas, and I managed to insert this in here, and yes, this opens. And then when we look, this brake pad, it is almost as worn out, but in here we don't have this hook, remember. But when we look at that other side, there was this hook. This is important thing. And this hook comes in that side, and this comes in here. Okay, and then there is some metallic plate in here, in this other side, and this purpose is to eliminate sound and vibration, and that's we need to remove that and reuse that. And I have screwdriver, and when I insert that in here, I can take that metallic plate away. And we can always purchase new one in these also. Okay, and then I take brake pad. And there I have new brake pad. And now there is possibility that I can install this brake pad. It is a little bit, this shape is that way, and it comes in here in this way. And at that point, when it is in this position, this is a little bit difficult to install because these patch areas, they are so tight. And if we have some excellent quality car like Toyota, this patch goes so nicely and easily in here. But now we have Hyundai, Kia, and this is much more complex. And now actually it went in there quite well. Amazing. Okay, maybe these pads are better than before, because now they are in right position. And then I need to install this metallic plate in here, and in that area it happens so that I insert that in here, and then I press that area, and then I think that maybe in that brake pad there is ready this anti-noise and anti-vibration material. Okay, maybe I don't need that. But then important thing, it's good to use in here this specific metal-free paste, what is suitable for these areas. And why to use that areas? The idea is that when we use this paste, then there is no corrosion in that area and no any sound vibrations, and that we need, or actually I recommend to install in here this metal free paste, because it keeps our brake pads to work longer. But of course we can install this without any lubricants, but then we might have bad those stuck and sticky situation in our brake systems within 1 year. But when we use these lubricants, our brake system can work like 3 to 5 years without any issues. Okay, but now I like to be professional engineer and professional car take care man, and then I install this my lubricant in here. Okay, and that tube cost about $5. This tube, and here is this my metal free paste, and I use my finger, and only in that area, what is this anti-vibration area, in that white material. Okay, and now it's ready, and be carefully that we don't insert in that area no any paste or lubricants. This is because it takes contact to this metal point. And then, because I like to be professional, I have also some other useful these paste and lubricants for brakes. And first one is the standard copper paste, what is suitable for these brake pads up areas and also those wheel nuts. And this is name is copper paste, and that cost also $5 per tube. And now I open that tube, and there is this area that I can install this in these brake pads up areas, like in that point and this point in here. And let's do that next. And we can look in a little bit down. There is this my small table, and I open that thing and I insert in here. little bit, and in here a little bit this stuff, wood. And then I use my finger and I insert this copper paste in these areas. Good. And this is quite nice. And then I have the final thing is this brake lubricant, and this stuff is made for all other things in this brake system, where we have this movement, and that means that in my understanding we can install that in these holes in here, and also copper paste, and then in this our brake caliper. And let's look that closer. Here is my brake caliper, and let's look that closer. This is this brake caliper in here, that part, and what areas we should to install that lubricant. This is this area in here. What is this moving part? And this looks like a little bit Vaseline and or grease. And that's I insert that in here, and I use my finger and I lubricant this rubber, this pistons area. And then when here is this, we can actually little bit move and all areas. And let's look that even closer. There is this my area, and I add this lubricant in also in that area, and we need to insert that lubricant to this rubber boot what is in here, and then of course in little bit that shape in here, and then we have this area in here, in what is that area. It's good to insert that thing also in there, because all lubrication, because this is rusty. And now there is this thing in there, good. And then we have these bolts in here, these brake pad steering bolts in here, and it's good to take this away. So these are in here, and insert this. There is this bolt, it opens, and in that area we can insert that lubricant in that area, inside in this way. Then these bolts are really important when brake pads are moving. Now I insert that back in there in this way, and then I press that in here, and then I test that how it works. And then there is this boot, and we should to insert and press this boot back in there, and it is normally quite difficult job to do, but when we use flat screwdriver or something else, because that area should be in here, and this is difficult, and then normally this boot can damage. It should be in there. Okay, as we can see, it is not easy. It's not easy to install, and that's my recommendation, is that if these bolts are moving nicely and they are not stuck, then it's not wise to remove those things, and because this boot is difficult to install back. Okay, I will fix that later, and then I take that bolt also again, and here we can see that there is now this lubricant, and in that area I insert my brake lubricant also, that good amount in there, and when I insert that lubricant, then there is no any corrosion and my brakes works well. Okay, now it works excellent way. And then I think that where there is this boot, I check that can I install this in first in here. Somehow this boot in that way. I rotate. Now it looks like in there, and there is this bolt, and I can add in here more this lubricant. And then I believe that my brakes works well. Okay, there's my bolt. Then I install in here, and now this work what I am now doing, this is like a little bit more than standard brake pads replace, because I also lubricant, I do this lubrication to also this brake pads moving parts. Now they are fine, and now I need to install this my grease also in that hole in here and that hole in here where this brake pads goes, and I use that. I insert a little bit this my grease in there and also in there. And then remember that if this lubricant goes to this brake disc, like as I just made, I need to take cotton cloth and clean these lubricants away in this brake disc right away, because if there is any lubricant, then our brake system don't work so well. Then I clean again. Okay, and now I think that my brake systems are fine, and this was also already, and I installed that in. It goes only in one way and in that way. Good, and now I install that here back. And now it went quite nicely. This pad, then I have here second pad where I have already installed that metallic paste in here, but I need to insert in these up areas this copper paste. These areas a little bit, that area, and also that area. Then I use my fingers and it looks good. And then these pads go only one way in here. And that way, now we can see that this is a little bit difficult to install in there. Okay, and this my trick was that I take now one of my brake pads away in here, and I install then this brake caliper in here, and then I press this piston back using this hole in that way. Now it's in there, and then I start to move that my piston, and then I can also insert, there is this hole that I insert my tool, this screwdriver, in that position, and I bend this piston back. Normally this works this way, here, then that way, and then I hope that this system works. This is press that piston back. I have here new flat screwdriver, and I insert that my flat screwdriver in here, and now I try to bend this piston back. And now I hope that I don't destroy this my flat screwdriver. Okay. It seems that it moves. Then okay, this is difficult part, and that's I recommend easy service cars like Toyota Corolla and Toyota Camry and those other Toyotas, because they are much easier to service. But now I think that this part moves. Okay, it moves, and then I use my tongs. Maybe I can. Okay, now I can compress. Good. I can compress this. Yes. But be carefully, because sometimes these tongs slipper, and if our fingers are in here, we can hurt our fingers, and use gloves. And okay, now this piston is in there like back in starting position. Excellent. And then I can insert my second brake pad back, and there. Okay, good. And it went in there, and then we can use little bit hammer. That we hammer this brake pads in right position. Okay, and then I take this brake caliper. I install that back in here, and then if we have difficulties with these bolts, we can press this down in that way. We press in this way down, and this lower bolt also down. And now, yes, it is very nice position. And then I take these bolts, and in these bolts it's good to install this copper paste also, little bit, both bolts. That way. And then purpose is that this bolts is then really easy to open. This was first one. And if this is difficult to install, this brake caliper, we can move that a little bit in that way. And when we move that, then this bolt takes contact. And then note that sometimes there is a second bolt in here, in that area and here, that we need to check that this bolt don't move in here when we rotate that. There is one bolt, and sometimes it moves, but sometimes not. Now when it is fine, and then this upper one also. And then when this part is ready, I can take my 14 millimeter this my socket, and I can fasten these bolts. This first one is there, and then the other one. then we must it's good to fasten this bolt so that, because these are quite weak bolt, that if we use a lot of force then we can broken these bolts, and that use short wrench. And then I always use this torque wrench tool, and I set up in here 30 Newton meters, or in LBF weight it is like something like 20 LBF. Okay, now I rotate that. There is this amount, and then socket back, and then I know that these bolts are, and when this my tool says click in that way, it means that there is this is okay, and then this lower bolt also. Okay, cool. And now I can say that now this brake pad replace has been made well and in good professionalism. And final step is that always when we are doing something in our brakes, that we need to go next in our cabin area, and I need to press our brake pedal 20 times in that way. Dig, dig, dig in my foot. Because then this brake caliper becomes in fasten and tighten, because this is risk if we go to drive right away. And next I go to cabin area and I press that my car's brake pedal 20 times, and then look in same time that what is happening in here when I move that my brake pedal. Okay, next I go in this cabin. Okay. First, second, third, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And now there is 20 pressings, and pads are in like right position, and final step is to insert wheel back and tighten those wheel nuts well, like also in with this torque wrench tool, like 100 Newton, and then this work is fine and ready. And thank you for watching, and have a nice day to you, and please see you in next video.